All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. Hey guys, how you doing? Man. Look, guys, I missed you. I missed you guys, man. I missed you guys. I really did miss you guys, man. Hello, people who are new. If you're new to this show, new to this broadcast, I want you to know my name is Tim Black. This is Tim Black TV, TBTV, Take Back Television, TTL Media Squad, the Wolfpack in the house. Thank you guys for having me. This is a news show. It's an independent news show. And welcome to it. Welcome to it, guys. I hope everybody can hear me well. Let me check before I go any further and make sure that people can hear the broadcast. I got Facebook in the house. Hey, Facebook. What up, Facebook? All right. Ah. I got some people from Canada tuning in. I got the usual suspects in the house. Let me see about YouTube. Looks like we're streaming anyway. Let me check on YouTube, see if we're going. We're live on YouTube. I see a yellow bar. That's not good. But how you been? How you been? Miss you too. Someone said they're dedicating their next bong hit to me. That feels good, man. Thank you so much. Just make us that good stuff. No garbage weed. No garbage in the bong. All right? Have respect. Respect yourself. All right, guys, look. I got some stuff I want to get into to kind of get it going back. This is like a test show to see if this new PC works, right? I want to make sure this new PC works. Huh? 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 All right, so a couple of people stepped up in a major way to make sure that this show came back, that I was able to recoup, that I was able to keep the TBTV going. The Tim Black Show lives on, and I want you to know, I appreciate the hell out you. All right, I think you're amazing. I want to thank you so much for helping me do this. We still have a GoFundMe going, but I was able. I said, you know what? I can't wait to raise the full amount of money. I got to just get something now because I can't be out of commission. There's stuff going on every day I got to talk about. So you made this possible, and I just want to thank you so much for all you did. I want to be able to shout some names out, but I didn't get permission. And sometimes people, they don't want their business out there. So we're going to have a Friday show, Freedom Friday show, where I do an official announcement of the contributors, the people that gave to the show. And by that time, I'll be able to reach out to people and make sure it's cool. Yeah, man, it's been tough, man. It's been a tough week. Last week was tough. Today is beautiful. And then on top of it all off, I had an internet problem the last few days. So I had the PC like a couple days ago, like Saturday, up and ready to go, but my internet wouldn't work. Talk about some conspiracy theories I had going on. But my ISP came by today. They said there was no sign of foul play. I was like, what? What? I want to talk about Tulsi Gabbard. I want to talk about Tulsi Gabbard and Joe Biden. I got to get in there. I got to speak truth to power. And my internet connection wouldn't work. Like you jump in the car, you ready to go. You drive all the way to the store, man, and you realize you forgot your wallet. You ever done that? All right, guys. I want to respect the time of the people who are new to the show, but I want people new to the show to know this, man. We don't have a bunch of airs here. We don't do a bunch of phony airs. We don't pretend to care about people. We really do care about people. We don't just kick it. We actually know one another. We're not passerbys. We're not fly-by-night people. The Tim Black TV show, TBTV, there are a lot of people here who have been around for years. We know each other. We know the commenters. We know the people that call up on the shows on Fridays. We call ourselves a community because we are. And I want you to know, if you join us, you join in something that's worthwhile. It's so worthwhile that I have to guard it with my life, and that's what I'm trying to do. And protect it and nourish it and grow it, and that's what we're doing. So consider doing that today on Facebook or YouTube or Patreon. Become a member of the Tim Black Wolf Pack. Okay, so let me get to these 5 stories, guys. Wow. Yeah. Man, thank you guys. Thank you. So I got we have Beto O'Rourke came out with a war tax. Okay, a war tax thing. It's a proposal that he's putting out. To me, it feels like a Hail Mary, but we'll talk about it. All right? Hail Mary from old Beto O'Rourke. We got Bernie Sanders. He put out a proposal for canceling student debt. Going over pretty well. Right? Interesting. And then we have Mayor Pete. Now, Mayor Pete had a very rough last couple of days, guys. Oh, man, Pete's been, whoo, he didn't see this coming. I bet he didn't see it coming. So we're going to talk about Mayor Pete and the backlash he's been receiving. And it's coming from some unlikely places, all right? And some very likely places, all right, if you've been paying attention to my commentary about Mayor Pete. But I want to start today's show talking about something I did a video on earlier. Please, guys, to get more information, my full breakdown on this subject, go to my YouTube channel. Check out the video there on YouTube. It's about Tulsi Gabbard and Joe Biden. Okay, and I think I do a thorough breakdown of how I feel about Tulsi Gabbard. Now, just a little bit so people know. I think most of you know. Here goes a quick 40 seconds of it about the background. Okay, background on the Tulsi Gabbard thing. Because somebody's watching right now, they don't know what I'm talking about. They're like, Tulsi Gabbard thing, what are you talking about? Okay, so Joe Biden made a comment at a fundraiser. At this fundraiser, he wanted to get props for being the type of Democrat who could work with Republicans. He calls it civility. It feeds into his whole narrative that Donald Trump is dividing America. And then now we got Joe Biden's going to come in and unite America. And part of uniting America is to get Republicans and Democrats to work together. So that was his spiel. That was his thing. But in order to make his point, he used, as a representation of the Republicans that he's worked with, he used 2 hard-line, bigoted, segregationists, like tantamount to the whole black people are in. These 2 people he used thought that black people were subhuman. And said it openly. Openly used the N-word. Openly said black people were inferior to white people. Openly called for segregation. Send blacks back to Africa. The whole thing. Whatever horrible thing you could think of in the 70s. Horrible Dixiecrat, not Dixiecrat, whatever, this horrible idea you conjure up in your head about a bigot in office, that's who these guys are, okay? So that was sort of like not the best way to make your point about being civil. Could have chose I don't know, Ron Paul. I don't know. He could have chose there's got to be some Republicans that aren't racist that he could have chose that weren't segregationists. But anyway, so this thing caused a real backlash. And now some people were caught up on the idea that civility is the key to prosperity. Civility is what we need in America. And without civility, we won't be able to get anything accomplished. And that somehow by being more civil, that will make the other side be more tenable or more pliable. For what reason, I'm not sure. Because it seemed like the civility was more about civility than it was about accomplishing what you set out to accomplish, which is one of the major knocks against Obama. But anyway, back to this. So Tulsi Gabbard, she put out a tweet where she said, hey, we need to be more civil. Elizabeth Warren, and Cory Booker and who else? Cory Booker, Elizabeth, Kamala Harris, and Bill de Blasio, they all jumped on Joe Biden and said, hey, why are you giving up props to freaking segregationists? Why are you propping them up? Why are you coddling? Why are you waxing poetic about these horrible individuals who thought that black people were garbage? And he used one of his analogies one thing he brought up, he said, well, this horrible Talmadge, I think his name was, or Eastman. One of these horrible guys, Biden said, never called him boy, called him son. See, he wasn't a bad guy because he called me son. So anyway, here we are. All right, here we are. So Tulsi Gabbard defended Joe Biden from the spirit of, hey guys, we need to work together. And I call BS, man. And I don't call BS because of Tulsi Gabbard. I call BS because that concept is what Joe Biden was praising these senators for, working together, working with these senators, these particular senators. Not every senator he's ever worked with. But these particular senators, you cannot cherry pick and say, oh, well, these were great guys because they didn't treat me racist. First of all, Joe Biden, you're a white guy. They wouldn't treat you racist. All right? I don't know many white guys that make a habit of calling white guys boys, but it's a long-standing stereotypical degradation to black men where even a white child, will call a grown black man like myself a boy. Somehow Biden made it make sense in his own head that this was something that these people should be glorified because they didn't call him a boy. And it just brings me to the root of the problem, and this is it. I'm not saying to cancel Tulsi Gabbard. That's not my thing. If I felt she was worthy of being canceled, I would say it. And frankly, guys, I don't like the whole cancel thing. Okay, I don't like that because, like, what does it even mean? Right? What does cancel mean? This is not a TV station. This is not a slot. This is about the future of our country. This is about our rights. This is about getting our just due. This is about having somebody in office who actually gives a damn about us before he cares more about us than donors and special interests and money, okay? So the cancel thing, I'm not in a cancel situation. I don't believe in that culture, the cancel culture. Maybe it is a cultural divide. The bottom line is, I'm not here to say that Tulsi Gabbard is horrible, bad person, bad Tulsi Gabbard. But I'm here to say I'm disappointed because you have to be more cautious when you are. Look, I wouldn't be upset if John Delaney said it. I wouldn't be upset if I felt that John Delaney was covering for Joe Biden, was making a big mistake, putting his foot in his mouth. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care if Amy Klobuchar said it. Yeah, I wouldn't care if Amy Klobuchar was like, "We'll leave Joe Biden alone. We need to work together." I mean, what? Like, who cares? But see, Tulsi Gabbard matters. Tulsi Gabbard has heart, courage. She'll stand up for stuff. She will fight for people. So, I believe what I say all the time. But I just want to make it clear. I'm not on the cancel parade. I'll give somebody a hard time. I gave Bernie a hard time over reparations comments. I lost some people. Some people cursed me out in my email. I don't care. I have to keep it real with what I do. But with Bernie, the same thing. I'm one of very few people that criticize Bernie for that. Keeping true to who I am and true to what the audience I want to have, is we're going to keep it real all the time. So I just want to clear that up for people. I was critical of Tulsi Gabbard for reasons of ethics. I was critical with Tulsi Gabbard because a missed opportunity is a horrible thing. And this is a window of opportunity for Tulsi Gabbard if she's the genuine article. It gives me hesitation when I feel that you're not vetting out your thoughts, beliefs, and when you're putting them out there on Twitter and then doubling down on Facebook. It's not a good look when I feel that you're totally off base. But this is just my opinion. Other people feel a different way. For me, as a black man, look, I'm sure a lot of my white friends feel the same way. And they let me know. A lot of my Asian friends feel the same way. A lot of my Latino friends feel the same way. But I make no doubt about the fact that I'm trying my best to reach in this country, this jacked up Americana that we have, where everything's race and color. I'm trying to talk to black folks and let them know we got to demand something for our vote. And if I'm going to be out here proselytizing, touting how great you are, supporting you, then I'm going to be hard to please, because I'm going to be looking for you to step up. But one mistake does not an enemy or does not a cancellation make. One mistake, one misstep, one lack of investigation, one tweet or 3 tweets, we need to do a better job. If we have in our minds that we'll throw out a peace candidate, one of very few people that actually went to bat for Bernie Sanders against the DNC, someone who was putting forth legislation that matters to this day, who signed on to H.R. 40, who believes in $15 minimum wage and Medicare for all. If we dismiss that person because they said something on Twitter, we ain't going to have nobody to support. We might as well just be anarchists, because no one's going to make us happy. So I'm not saying lesser two evils. What I'm saying is slow down. It's okay to be disappointed. It's okay to be upset. We voice our feelings. I try to help voice your feelings. If you got more to say on this issue, Friday, call up and speak your mind on the Tim Black Freedom Friday show. It's okay to be upset, but I don't think this rises to the level of she betrayed us. It's a tweet. She didn't vote for war. She's not a segregationist. Right? Joe Biden's the one who wrote the damn crime bill. So that's all. Some people just going crazy. I just gotta. All right, I want to go on. I'm taking too long. That's it. Watch the video. Even though that was it was supposed to be short. Even though that was longer than I anticipated, guys. Watch my video on my YouTube channel. Get a full view of it. I got clips in it. I got stuff in it that makes it more entertaining than just me going like this, my lips moving. And I think you'll enjoy it. We do our best to inform, but not put you to sleep, but always keep it real and provide that substance and that punch and that realness to it. So, okay, next story. Since I'm feeling real punchy, man, I'm feeling energized because I'm coming back. I want to go with Mayor Pete. You guys okay with Mayor Pete? Let's do a Mayor Pete intro, guys, because Mayor Pete, he very interesting, guys, very interesting. Mayor Pete. Okay, let me set up Mayor Pete. My bad. Let me set him up. Can I set up Mayor Pete first? Let me set up Mayor Pete. Okay, so Mayor Pete had a very rough week. And this is going into week number 2, I guess, because this happened. Today is Tuesday. Okay, so he had a very rough week. Everybody knows Mayor Pete was like the flavor of the month. It seemed like Pete could do no wrong. People were praising Mayor Pete. Great things were being said about Mayor Pete. He had the spread in Time Magazine, him and his husband. Everyone's talking about it. He's been on several shows and not really, in my opinion, never really challenged for substance. And he was able to get these like platitude-y, nice responses, and people were going like, that's good enough, because he made them feel good, I think, just because he could speak well, and he seemed reasonable in his tenor, his voice. He was vociferously gifted. He's vocally eloquent. But my fear with Mayor Pete has always been that Mayor Pete doesn't have much experience, and he seems to be an empty suit, and he took money from the wrong people, and where'd he come from anyway? And he met with Hillary Clinton, and. Well, the last couple of days, things have been coming out about Mayor Pete, and he's been having to deal with some things in his home of South Bend, Indiana, where he is the mayor. And there was recently a shooting in South Bend, Indiana, where a white officer shot a black man to death. This has sparked a lot of outrage, obviously, across Indiana. So Mayor Pete, he left the campaign trail. He goes home to deal with it. He's going to swoop in. And now here goes a clip of Mayor Pete in South Bend, Indiana, dealing with a crisis. There we go. All right. All right. So, with this, okay, with this, what you just saw there, this was all over Twitter, and I saw it. I was like, wow, this seems new to some people, but it should not be so new to all of you because this is what we've been talking about. Mayor Pete does not have a good relationship with black people in his home city, his hometown, where he's the mayor. He's not a new mayor, he's an incumbent mayor, right? Why not? Well, for one reason, and we're going to get to some of this later, but there was the firing of the first black police chief. It was the bulldozing of homes, particularly in the black community. There was a lot of gentrification. It moved a lot of black folks out of a lot of locations. Looks good on the balance sheet for the well-to-do folks in South Bend, but not so well for the poor folks, black, white, all colors, but particularly black folks. And then there was the issue of race and racial problems, bigoted, racist remarks by officers on the force, which was part of the reason why the chief, the first black chief, got let go, because something about a scandal of finding out all these things that were said between these cops on these radio transmissions. Some of that is a little fuzzy to me, but it had to do with racist cops. And that's what the woman is talking about. That's what the sister is talking about in the video. Why are these cops still on the force? And now we have the death of a black man by the hands of a white cop, and people have concerns because, well, Racist cops exist on the force in South Bend. And up to this point, what has Pete done about it? So you saw Pete right there say, well, I can't say that action has been taken against these racist cops who were found to be racist. Well, how could you say that? So if it's your job to make sure that things don't go that way, that you are taking care of racist cops and getting them off the force, how could there be any trust between the communities if you have racist cops who make racist posts, who make racist talk, racist emails, whatever? Why are they still employed? So that's all on Mayor Pete. Like, he's the mayor. Everyone keeps saying, well, his whole thing was, I'm a mayor and I know how to run a thing and I run everything, water, sewage, trash pickup to the protection and police and budget. Like, he says he has all this experience. Well, what's going on in your city? These are things I brought up, have been bringing up about Mayor Pete. It's all been, to me, about his relationship with his husband, the fact that he's a gay man, the fact that he went to great schools, the fact that he can speak a lot of languages, the fact that he likes puppies, the fact that he can cook, and there's all this other stuff, but not a lot of it. Oh, the fact that he's a veteran, the fact that he's young, like all these things, but none of it's about how great of a job he's done leading. Like anyone else out there, I'm looking for the best candidate. If Mayor Pete Buttigieg was the best candidate, I'd be behind him. I'm not paid by any candidate. I don't report to any candidates. I'm not no way affiliated with them. None of them are my friends. I just appreciate them for what they do, and I try my best to get them a fair shake. If I thought that Pete Buttigieg was the way forward, I would be talking about it. I'd be damned all disrespect, or how can I say this? If I thought that Mayor Pete was the right candidate, I'd be behind him and I wouldn't care what it cost me. Because this is bigger than me. This is way bigger than me and my show. This is about my kids and my grandkids and your kids and the world. So that's how I feel about it. So anyway, I have a clip I want to share with you from The View. Now, I've used The View as clips before, but typically I'm really bagging on The View because The View typically gets things very wrong. But in this particular case, you got to give props where it's due. All right, all right, all right. Now, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. All right, so I watched that clip, and I'm glad I was able to share it with you. A couple things I want to make clear right off the top. First of all, the View may be right about this comment, or right about the fact that they may agree. We may be on the same side about how I feel about Pete at the moment and how they feel about Pete at the moment. But the fact of the matter is, my apprehension about Pete is not new stuff. Like, I didn't become apprehensive about Pete because he gave a bad answer at a town hall at an event during a crisis. So the things that Sonny's listing, the things that Whoopi's listing, are the same things. They existed when Pete came there the first time. So my question is very simple, Whoopi Goldberg. My question is very simple, Sonny, who I'm very disappointed in, because I expect you to do more, to be a little bit more prepared. Why weren't you voicing this about Pete when you first came to the show? I mean, he's been mayor for a while. The issues that you cite that are dings on him have been dings on him way before he came to the View. See, that makes me feel like you're disingenuous. And when the wind blows another way, you will forget all about everything you just said, because I don't think you really are there to give us real information. I think you're there to play the media game, which is when it's time to boost them up, oh, let's boost them up. Oh, let's boost them up. And when it's time to break them down, oh, we break them down. Oh, we break them down. That's not speaking truth to power. Last thing. And guys, I have a feeling that, because if you notice in the clip, when the sister said to Pete, you want black people to vote for you, then it's a cut. And later he says, I'm not asking for your vote. She says, you ain't going to get it either. I have a feeling that there was a lot of conversation in between there. And I'm just guessing that he was saying, I didn't come home to ask you for a vote. I came home to try to help with this situation. That's what I think. I think that's what he was trying to say. Obviously, he's running for president. He's asking for votes. But he's not here. That's not what brought him back to South Bend on this day. He was not brought back to ask for votes. He was brought back because he came back. He wasn't brought back. He came back because of this issue. And I'm not saying he came back for the greatest reasons. Maybe he's coming back to do some damage control. Maybe because it's his job. Okay, so I'm not saying he's a saint because he came back to his city when there's a crisis. But what I'm saying is maybe that's what he was referring to. And here's the thing, guys. Just because you don't agree with somebody politically, right, doesn't mean you can't be civil. But see, civil doesn't mean that I capitulate to BS. All it means is, yeah, I'm not going to just throw you under the bus. Because frankly, I think there's going to be enough time for you to do that for yourself. I'm not going to make up stuff. I'm not going to fabricate anything. I'm going to use what I already have. The fact that you don't seem like you don't like hiring black folks, so you got no problems firing black folks, and you like kicking black folks out their home, that's a lot of red flags to me. So I don't need to fabricate an altercation between you and a woman and say, you said you don't need her vote, when that don't even make sense. I don't think that's what he meant. He doesn't approach me as a dumb person who would say that. So a lot of people are running with it. I think they're wrong. And if all we're going to do is fabricate things against politicians we don't agree with, then I think that does a disservice to our audiences. So I'm going to keep it moving. Mayor Pete, I don't think it's time for him to be running for president. That's how I feel about it. And it wouldn't. And you're free to make up your own mind. I will continue to cover Mayor Pete as fairly as possible, but I don't see a lot of genuineness in a lot of what he's doing. I see too much neoliberal BS, little flimsy statements about Medicare for all, other issues. I got concerns. All right. Thank you. Next. Let's go to Beto O'Rourke, because I haven't talked about Beto in a while, and it's really interesting what he's proposing. he wants to propose this great new proposal. Propose a great new proposal. And frankly, I think Beto needs to do it because Beto was getting lost in the sauce. He's dropped several points from where he was a couple of months ago. He was once upon a time the flavor of the month, and now I don't know what he is. He the flavor nobody wants. They took him off the menu, it appears. Well, it looks like Beto wants back on the menu because he has this proposal. Here goes a clip where they talk a little bit about Beto's new proposal. And then, oops. Woo. All right. Okay. You know, you know what? I'm not going to jump to exactly how I feel. Let me tell you a little bit. According to NBC News, okay, Rourke's proposal is pretty simple. When he wants to bring, first of all, he wants to bring home all soldiers from Iraq and Afghanistan, right? Okay, so that's part of his proposal. There are like three tiers to his proposal. For some reason, they went with the most controversial one in this clip, because the other two tiers, most people would agree with. Bring home our soldiers. Let's end those wars. Let's get out of Afghanistan. Let's get out of Iraq. I agree with that. You agree with that? I think we all agree with that, okay? But this other tier is about the war tax. Now, the proposal is, hey, before the U.S. could go to war, they'd have to issue a tax for that particular war. So I guess basically you see on your paycheck, oh, isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? I don't know, Iran. I don't like that. We need to not be there. I don't want to pay $250 a month. So whatever it is would be a debt, a tax on us to pay for the war. So I understand people are seeing it. Some people are seeing it according to this, and it would be for the veterans. Okay, some people are seeing this as not good because they feel it will be a new way to fund war. They think people are so naive that they just be like, yeah, let's go get them. Take my money. Guys, I don't know, man. It's a weird night because I just don't think most people will be like, yeah, take my money. I want us to go to war. I don't think that. I don't think most people would be like, yeah, war is good. I don't think most people really support war. I just don't think they do. I think they'd rather we not have wars. And I think if they knew it was coming right out of their pocket, like if they saw it coming out, leave their bank account, they saw their hard-earned money come in and saw their hard-earned money go out to go to somewhere in the Middle East, fight something where nobody attacked us, and we talking about we going to, I think a lot of people be like, nah, No, I think we okay. I think we can talk this out. I think we can do something diplomatically. I think people who don't even know what a sanction is be like, we need to do sanctions. We need some sanctions. Some Sanka. You mean Sanka coffee? No, we need some sanctions. Some Sanka. Because I think most people don't want to pay for war, and I don't think they think that we are. I don't believe most people want us to go to war. But there is a bit of skepticism with me with this too, because come on, let's face it, guys. Americans are so easily fooled. Most people are very easily fooled when they have a media machine that lies to them on a daily basis, that tells them these narratives, that spins these narratives, that makes them believe that every time the U.S. is engaged in any type of conflict, we're the good guys and we're going there to save somebody. So when you have a populace that has been fed this through Hollywood, through politicians, through special interest groups for decades, that when we go in engagement, and in any engagement that we go on, is for humanitarian purposes. I don't know if I can trust those people to make decisions that are humane when they are not given the accurate information. So I want to give Beto O'Rourke props for even stepping into war. He's trying to step into this area of like, maybe we shouldn't have wars, but I feel it's pretty lazy. It's not very courageous. It's like, hey guys, what if people had to pay money, Won't you just say no more wars unless, won't you be a peace candidate? Don't know. Look, half measures are not going to get it, Beto. If you want to be exceptional, if you want people to respect the hell out of you like they respect Bernie Sanders or Tulsi Gabbard, Elizabeth Warren, some people do. All three of those candidates. Well, then you're going to have to go out on a limb and piss people off. See, that's where I have a problem with Beto O'Rourke, Pete Buttigieg, Amy Klobuchar, Cory Booker. Like, they don't want to piss people off. You got to piss people off sometime. Don't be like Joe Biden. Civility. No. Sometimes, like, you talking about saving lives both domestically and internationally, you have to piss people off. It's fine. Sometimes people need to be pissed off. Sometimes industries need to be hurt, like the military-industrial complex, private prison industry. These things need to be hurt. We don't need somebody tiptoeing around like, I hate to upset you, but I really think, excuse me, pardon me, I don't want to interrupt, I don't mean to be a jerk, but can we not kill any kids? I don't mean to be a spoiler, a buzzkill, but could we not blow kids up in families, innocent civilians, please? I mean, if it's not too much trouble, please. Like, we don't need somebody like that. We just might say, put the damn guns down and stop with the damn drones. Spend our money domestically to take care of our families and our schools and our hospitals. We don't need somebody scared to say what needs to be said. And unfortunately, Beto O'Rourke, he wants to be exceptional, but he doesn't want to be exceptional. All right. He doesn't want to risk anything. And you got to risk. You want to be great, it takes risk. Okay, going on to the next story. You want to be great, you got to break. Look, you want an egg, you want an omelet, you got to break a few eggs, man. Right? All right. Last story. Last story. Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders has new legislation to cancel a proposal, not legislation. It's not legislation yet, Tim. Slow down, Tim. All right. He's proposing legislation, a proposal for legislation. $1.6 trillion of your student loan debt erased, as in canceled. And when I said I didn't believe in cancel culture, that's for human beings. But I don't think there's anything wrong with canceling debt. All right? Nothing wrong with canceling student debt. All right? So, here goes the clip of Bernie Sanders talking about the proposed legislation that he will be proposing. Check it out. All right, get George Stephanopoulos out of here. We back on? Okay. So Bernie Sanders' plan is the most aggressive plan for student debt cancellation, getting rid of student debt, okay? It's even more aggressive than Senator Warren's because Senator Warren's is based on how much money? Based on criteria. Bernie Sanders is, hey, everybody, get rid of all that debt. Put your debt bags down. Just let your arms be free. Relax. We get rid of this debt, okay? And he's going to pay for that debt. His plan is to have a Sanders will fund his student forgiveness plan through a new tax on financial transactions, where he expects that he will raise over $2 trillion over the next 10 years. Okay, and the tax plan would include a 0.5% fee on all stock trades, a 0.1% fee on all bond trades, and a 0.0005% fee on all derivative trades. So that's the difference between him and Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren's plans to cancel student loan debt for more than 95% of borrowers and would entirely cancel student debt for more than 75% of Americans with student loan debt. Warren believes that her plan would reduce the wealth gap in America. Obviously, Bernie believes the same thing. So this is very interesting. I like the fact that Bernie's, back in the game on the legislation tip. I think it's important for him to keep pace with, and if possible, as he did here, outdo Elizabeth Warren. He's doing that. I think it's great that we have, candidates who both share these ideals, and this way we get better competition puts forth better consumers, right? It's better for the consumers when you have somebody to compete against. That's part of the problem we have with Google right now, since nobody's there to compete against them. That's the problem we have with Amazon. No one's there to compete against them. So you are sort of at the whim and the mercy of what? Of those big corporations. Well, the same thing can happen when it comes to power. And I feel like Bernie's powerful. I feel like Elizabeth Warren is powerful. But the fact that they challenge each other, the fact that they both have their heads in the right place, it seems, going in the right direction. And I feel more strongly about Bernie doing that than Elizabeth Warren, just because Look, guys, at the end of the day, you have to believe the person who is pitching you the ideas actually has the wherewithal, the courage, the heart to deliver. I mean, because we've all had people promise us stuff and didn't deliver on it. I'm going to do this for you. Sign here. You sign there with the strength of on the strength of them living up to what they said they're going to do, and then they just don't do it. They go dark. You don't hear back from them. They leave you dangling. So what good is a promise if you don't feel that the person will deliver? So that's part of my problem with Elizabeth Warren. I would love to be proven wrong, right? But be that as it may, we got time to figure this all out. What I'm saying is, I like the fact that Bernie came out with this legislation. It's not just him, Ilhan Omar, Jayapal, Pramila Jayapal, and I saw Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez as well, all there at the unveiling of this proposal. It's a good thing. Of course, I've talked about this on my channel before, that, you know, we're the richest country in the history of countries. Why don't we have what other countries have? That's because all our money is going to the top. I don't know why there are people who don't see it that way. We're the richest country in the history of countries. Why are countries who have far less GDP, why are countries who are far less lucrative, have more incentives for their citizens? That doesn't make sense. It's like we got the most money, but we live the worst. We have the lower life expectancy. We have higher rate of death, of suicide. People don't commit suicide because they're happy and they're living high on the hog and everything's going great. And you know what? Same thing with opiate deaths. Same thing with overdoses. Same thing with alcohol disease. Same thing with a lot of problems that we face. Has to do with quality of life. So, but for some reason, a lot of us have been brainwashed into believing that Americans are just bad people. I guess that's what it is. It's weird, isn't it? We're so great. Well, why we keep shooting each other? Well, because we're so great. We can't handle all this greatness. Why most gun deaths are suicides? Because they're just so happy to be Americans. We're just happy. Oh, okay. You know, 40% of homeless people had jobs. There you go, again with facts. I'll be coming up here with these facts, Tim Black. If I wanted facts, I'd open a book. Oh, man. All right, so look, guys, I will continue to follow this legislation. I'll continue to follow the race. You know, in a couple of days, Thursday and Friday, we have the Democratic debates. I'll do my best to cover it. And give it to you straight. Tell the truth every time out. Let the chips fall where they may. Remember, you can always write me at tim@timblacktv.com. Follow me at Real Tim Black on Facebook and on Twitter. On Instagram, I'm known as Tim Black at Night. And what else? And guys, thank you once again for helping me get back to doing what I feel is my calling to do. You know, we may not always get the recognition from our peers, from these organizations that give these awards out. But I think we got something special. In fact, I know we have something special. And I want to thank you for being a part of it. I appreciate you. That's it. Have a great evening. Thank you for tuning in at the last minute. I'll see you on the next one as we see how this went. Hopefully, we're back. We'll see. All right, guys. Catch you on the next one. Shout out to everybody in the Tim Black Wolf Pack. I love you guys. Peace.